Have you voted before? I don't know if Bounty W would have done. It's not by head.
It's not by what?
Maybe this one they are using. I don't know. Paper and Bible.
Why will you use APC?
Wait now.
You'll be OD Tinubu one. Hey, good. Yeah, nice.
Hey guys, welcome to the Not Heard Enough podcast. I promise you, if you're looking for what people usually talk about on the mainstream, this is not the podcast for you. Go ahead and log off or go and watch ball or something. In this place, we talk about the things that are lesser known, the things that are unappreciated, the things that you wouldn't hear of in a normal day. And, we hope that we can bring these things to light from our own to...
I mean, that doesn't mean that we're the most serious people before we start seeming like philanthropists.
But like, we not... Disclaimer first. We don't know anything.
Important disclaimer.
Let's put it out there. Nothing we say in this podcast is backed by dictionary, or is backed by law, or is backed by anything. Just know that it's just two guys, birthed from the same mother. I'm sure you can tell. That just feel like we sometimes have a somewhat different or unique perspective of things that happen. And we thought maybe it would be a good idea to just, put it out there and stuff.
Yep, right? That's right.
Yeah, so although it's not unique sometimes, no district, but we try to, so if you hear something that you don't follow it, no verse, yeah, cool. Some of the things we would say would piss you off. Some of the things we would say might, you might agree with. Just know that, again, this is not backed by law. So don't come and be quoting David Unde for me after this decision that, hey, according to subsection 2, I don't care about your subsection. This is just what I think. It may be from a place of ignorance. It may be from a place of outright wisdom.
Yep.
It may be from a place of analytics. It may be from God, most importantly.
Yeah.
So don't rule it out. It's up to you to decide where the place is coming from, not us. Just know that it's coming out. So, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we kickstart this podcast.
Yep, and I'm just going to say that this has been in the works for a long, long time. We've finally come out of our shell. We will still be learning in the process. And sometimes you may see us banter and, if it gets odd, just know that it's unscripted. We're just telling you things that we think are really not heard enough. Things that we believe that a lot of people should listen to and, can shape their new perspective on things. And yeah, we are big on music. So if you're looking for music that is not too popular, but is pretty good, we are your plug. All right. That being said, my name is Genesis.
I'm Zena.
Which one be Zena? You don't start. Okay, I'll call your name. Which one be Zena?
I know, sir, it's too...
You get that? I'll report it to your mommy.
No offense to Benin people, but I don't know. I just feel like Nusa is everywhere, and I don't like.
Okay, just for this one time, what is the full name?
My full name is Nusa Zena. Yeah, I know. Sounds like music.
Nusa Zena.
Yeah, it's not Nusa Zena. It's not Nusa Zena. It's Nusa Zena. It's very. There's a rhythm to it. Sounds like music. It's very sweet, But if your tongue is not fast enough or it's not sweet enough, please call me Zena. Do not call me Nusa. Don't call me Victor.
That's the absolute worst one. Guys, I can promise that one, if you call him, is over.
Look, so all my guys that used to call me Victor in the past, maybe I've not told you in face-to-face, but please, if for any reason this podcast comes to your desk or to your phone or on your YouTube, or your mom is watching it and she show you, my name is not Victor. Well, not anymore. It is not Victor. It is Zena. All right. Cool.
All right. Yeah.
What's the next thing on the agenda?
How was your week? I mean, I think today is governorship elections. I think we haven't gotten over the presidential just yet. So,
But wait first. Something doesn't make sense. If the presidential election, should I say it now? Because it seems like we're already getting serious.
Yes, no
Okay.
time.
So the presidential election happened last 2 weeks, Abi?
Mm-hmm.
Right, in Nigeria. And there's currently an ongoing court case about whether the results of the presidential election, is valid or whatever. And because I don't know, maybe it's because I used to watch many film, but in film, if something is under investigation, that thing cannot be used for any other thing.
What you're referring to as the thing is the process, right? The process of electing
The
someone.
process, the
Yeah.
Beavers, Beavers,
IREV,
the
abi.
INEC, IREV, that's thing that sounds
Say na
like,
INEC.
like logical numbers. All those things, that they use for the presidential election that is currently brought into the spotlight, that's in the court proceeding right now. I don't think they should be used to do another election while it's still under scrutiny. Do you get? Because then we now do this governor election. They now be like, hey, it's a lie. IREV is saying no. And Beavers is saying yes. And they'll be like, so I don't know. Maybe this one they are using something different. Maybe this one they are using, I don't know, paper and Bible.
I think it's also important to remind people that, earlier when we were discussing, we said how on earth is it logical that the presidential is happening before the gubernatorial elections? I mean, every make sense process, in every logically thought out process, I think the less important comes before the most important.
Yeah, you literally save the best for the last.
Exactly, you save the best for the last. I don't think Davido performs like his best song at the beginning. We wait till the end. That's how they close the show. I didn't say that too. Anyways, so the point here is if we are going to have elections for House of Assembly, senatorial, gubernatorial, presidency, it should follow that order. We should build to the peak points,
summit,
right?
yeah.
We should get to the summit. We should get to a point where we've seen how all of these electoral processes like happen, from the smaller ones to the bigger ones, and then we get to the big one. And if anything is going to be improved, let it happen in that process. Why are we starting with presidency? We will now realize, oh, it's bad. And then we've decided the biggest office in the country with a very bad process. I feel like one of the things that we should change, and I don't know if this, I mean, disclaimer, I don't really used to follow election until Peter Obi started. So,
have you voted before? Ever?
Never. I don't have PVC.
Aren't you like 40 years old?
I'm not, never. Do I look 40? Don't mind this guy, I beg. So,
what have you been doing?
before I lose my trail of thought, I beg. Have you voted before?
I'm young.
How many years I take old past you? It's not more than 2. The difference in an election cycle is every 4 years. So if I've not voted all my life, it can apply to you because do you get?
I voted for class captain.
You voted for class captain?
Yes.
Okay.
I
I voted for what they call that thing, Mr. Mariri.
You went for Mr. Marina.
No, don't make. I beg. Let me.
Wait. Sorry.
How will I go for Mr. Mariri? Look at my body now. Come on. All those guys, they always buff now. They always,
Not true.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying. So logically, we should build, we should experiment, we should improve the process up till we get to the presidency, so that if anything is going to get, improved on, we will identify them in that process and then do it better. So now we've started with presidency. Obi is dragging it. Atiku is walking on the streets. Showore is speaking the one that favors him.
Really is a presidential
It really doesn't make sense. And we have like foreign bodies not recognizing the election. They are complaining about the process. And in all of it, we are still going to go and vote for the gubernatorial one.
Yep.
I feel like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you not think that the gubernatorial should come before the presidency and then...
Yeah.
Anyways.
But wait, sorry. I mean, how they used to, do they used to vote LG?
Yes, now it's part of, I think it's part of the, I don't know where it falls on
why
that.
we didn't used to, anyway, maybe because me, I'm young, I didn't used to read it on Twitter.
Yeah.
But that's by the way.
All right, so,
Who, if you're in Lagos, who would you have voted for?
obviously,
Why is it obvious?
I don't want APC. I don't think by any virtue of anything that APC should be winning any office they used to elect, any office they used to vote for. They should not win anything. They've been too bad. So, well, yeah.
You don't think you can be a good person, like a good leader, but be in a bad party? I mean, let's I can't remember. I don't know whether it was a movie I was watching, and then the person said that sometimes the good guy has to do bad things to make the bad guys pay. I can't remember what movie that was, or was it movie. So the thing is, if you were going to go into, like, you wanted to go into politics now, right now, over the last 4 to 8 years, you know that using APC, you have the best chance of getting that seat.
But does that make sense? Like looking at the past 8 years, logically speaking, unless when you say the best chance, you mean like by all their extreme forces.
No,
If you mean by performance, APC should not give you your
No,
best
but
leg into the
Nigerians
office
don't
now.
look at performance now like that. I mean, for every single governor or every let's use governorship, right? For every single governor that has come about to say, I did this, there's always a set of people that say, during your tenure, that's when gun was free. During your tenure, that like think of Peter Obi now, for example. A lot of people come out to say that Peter Obi was when he was Anambra's governor. I know no politics.
It's on nature.
When he was Anambra governor and Anambra was thriving, I doubt it, but some people also come out to say that it was during his own tenure that there were, I don't know, many shootings. I've seen it somewhere before, I don't know, but my point is you cannot. It's difficult for people to agree. I think maybe the only person that people have agreed on now is the Ibadan guy. No, or your guy. What's his name?
Makinde Abi.
Yeah, that guy.
Sheyi Makinde.
I think that's the one person that I think everybody has come together and say, no, you have done a great job.
And it's not snapping picture in markets. It's not cutting it.
It's not tainted by some external or whatever. Well, again, I don't even know.
And maybe that goes back to your point where you could be a good person but being a bad person, because
exactly.
I think
Makinde is in.
Because PDP was
It's in PDP,
not.
Abi?
Yeah, it's in PDP.
At that time, everybody was like, we don't want PDP anymore. PDP is doing that. APC, not them. But Makinde got into PDP and he has sort of performed well, right? So again, do you think like if you really wanted to do like look at Banky W for example?
Yeah, very funny.
I don't know if Banky W would have done well.
We don't know what
it's
we
not
do
by
now.
head.
It's not by what? It's not by head. I'm not with you.
It's not by head and it's not by I mean he does good music, right? He's arguably one of the most loved Nigerian artists.
No, I mean beyond even music, like his transformation at Desua, he's now preaching, he's in church, and people will like him now. He preaches now. I don't know if he owns his church, but I think the water broke or something. It's funny. After I don't
say Kiloshe,
Jassy, and now he's.
Well, I mean, people change.
Yeah, and that's why God is a loving Father any day of the.
So,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
So
Lord.
at the end of the day, well, he seemed like the better one. But I mean, if you check Twitter and see social media now, you'd see that everyone. Let me not say everyone. A lot of people are saying that the guy who beat him actually did campaign.
Did you? Well, you're not. Don't worry. That question is not valid. You know the Nigeria.
Yeah, but you get what I mean. Like people said, the guy was on the streets. He was holding flyers. He was campaigning, person to person. That Banky was Banky campaign, but the true what they call that when you collect for the side, they can give Adeswa some. She said she did not campaign. She was just doing YouTube video. She did not come out and support. At the end of the day, yeah, I think Banky would have been a good. I mean, it would have been a breath of fresh air. It would have been one of those people that represents the people because of what he does and everything. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you want to win elections, I think that the first thing will be to apply strategy, not just who you are.
Yeah, I get, but this is just me. But if I was, let's say in the past 8 years, if I was going to go into politics, I'll use APC.
You use APC.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not deck you now.
No, wait.
Hello, wait. Why will you use APC?
Wait now.
You'll be OD Tinubu. Hey, God. It's a Vala Blue. Yes, it's doctored. It's doctored. He edited it.
I mean, when you say it like that,
We'll drag you like Desmond. I know
think of
even
me like this. Let's look at it from a biblical perspective.
From me what?
From a biblical perspective,
Really?
let's go even in the Bible.
Okay.
Daniel, in the lion's den. Before he reached the lion's den, he sat. At
Wait, this thing you want to say, you know it, sir. You know that you are just.
I mean, there might be some gaps. I didn't read the book of Daniel like that. But I from my book of Bible story, they tell us.
Well, go on.
So Daniel, prophet of God, but he sat in the court of King Darius. God, I'm good. How do I remember these names? In the court of King Darius,
I know,
which was
I know it, sir.
go and Google it. Go and Google it. Check.
Go and
In the
verify.
in the court of King Darius, right? And I think Darius was a was an idol worshiper. I don't know. Maybe he was a Boni or something.
Ogboni.
I don't know. But Shisha wasn't a believer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because of Daniel's presence in King Darius' court, first of all, Daniel was favored, right? And obviously they were the external force, and Daniel chose not to participate in Baal abomination.
So
Right.
you're saying you can be in APC and you not participate?
If you are backed by God,
So that they will make you youth leader. You be doing that guy, what that guy is doing on Twitter up and down. Me, I'm not even joining you. I support you, to be
well,
honest.
I feel like maybe, but I honestly, I mean, if I'm being serious now, I mean, yeah, Labour Party is on the rise now. That's what I said.
I feel like they are now. You can argue. I mean, statistically, they are not number 2, but I mean, if you win Lagos, if you could win Rivers, if you could win FCT, if you could win,
they're definitely on the
like
rise.
they are huge statements. PDP didn't win Kano, which is also like the biggest state. So if you will not say APC is number 1, there's a fair shout for LP to be number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at their trajectory,
But there's always the fear that now that LP is on the rise and everybody seems to be blindly voting LP. Bad eggs
why would you say blindly?
We are blindly voting LP.
Why? Which
why- I think-
wait, the other ones you were voting, were you seeing?
And that's not the point.
No, we have to be very honest. Like, when you were blindly, no, you've never voted, but I mean, the people who used to vote PDP, APC, were they seeing? We generally are just blind. So saying blind is unfair because we can't see in the first place. For you to be blind, you must have been seeing. You get what I
Can
mean?
be blind from birth.
We know that you are
That's
blind
bad
from
by the
birth
Bible.
because we know there is light. In our Nigerian case, there's literally no light. You don't know anybody until they prove you right or wrong. So at the point of voting, maybe it's fair to say that in the absolute term or sense of the word blind, we are, but we don't have any light.
But when I say blind, I don't mean like we are blind like it's a bad thing. I just mean like people are now voting LP in any arm of government election, regardless of whether they know who is there or not.
Because you're
Case in-
tired.
Yeah, I'm not. Yes.
So that's what you mean by
Case
blind.
case in point, Banky W. I mean, I honestly, when I saw Unwi, I'm like, who's this? To be honest, no
I can't
offense to
remember
him.
his name.
No offense to him, he looks really handsome. He looks really good, but when I saw him, I felt that
Nobody shame you, man. No deal with you.
I'm not body shaming him.
And no face shame you, no.
Yeah. But honestly, in Banky W, we won't use fine tax and win this thing. That's my friend.
You say a fine tax. What does fine? Is it the finest politician in Nigeria?
You know that people are more likely to
know,
associate themselves with finer people.
There's a suffering that you will see. You will not see fineness.
Did you suffer? Have you suffered?
No, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm
you have not
speaking
suffered?
for the people who did not vote. him.
Well, yeah, true. But
so
Sha, what may I think is, I don't know. But
I mean, before we wrap this beat on presidency, gubernatorial election, and everything, it's just worth knowing that what LP or let's be factual, what OB has done from a movement perspective has been wild.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in church here and white people are like praying for OB to be president. Like, you guys have no idea how that is. I've never paid attention to elections, and I literally did a get together to be tracking election. I opened Excel. I was writing formula just to track.
She Rufai.
And who was Rufai?
Don't worry. Alright, TV guy.
Anyways, Sha, the point was there was a lot of hope that he's inspired, and I hope that the judiciary sort of. I mean, if you look at Nigeria, there's really no hope, if I'm being honest. But this is one of those moments where they say, "Truth, the truth now be." The truths are set to something like that, or the truth will shall come
Go
to
by
light
school,
or something.
Why
Will
not
vindicate
know?
you or maybe prove you right. I didn't know too much of all those things, but yeah, it's just important to see how he has inspired us. And you never know, a lot of young people now may go into politics just because of this movement. I don't know if he doesn't win this fight in the courts. I don't know if he'll come back in 2027, but I hope he does I hope someone better comes out. Yeah, Abi.
Yeah, I mean, he should. I mean, even if no random human being should come out too. Just no.
That's enough politics for today, Abi.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, what did we plan to discuss today? Profiling, yeah.
Yeah.
Profiling.
Which is what we've already done. I just profiled that.
You profiled who?
That
That guy.
banking
I mean,
yeah.
those. All right.